Hey guys, welcome back to Watch Takes episode 2 with Watches with Oliver. We are here to talk about Caravelle. Now, before we get into that, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Go ahead and watch my last episode 1 on the Bulova Oceanographer GMT with Joe. I'd really greatly appreciate it. Any comment, any feedback, go ahead and share with me because it helps me improve my videos and helps me improve my channel. For the wrist check, before we start, we have gotten here a Caravelle from 1969, I believe. It is just a simple 12369 dial on this nice cream colored dial, and it's also on this expansion bracelet, which many of you may or may not know, but I do know how to size these, and I could probably be the only one in the world who knows how to size them, at least in my age group. But if you guys need help, go ahead and ask me. Anyway, so we are here to talk about Caravelle. Now, what is Caravelle? Caravelle is essentially a sub-brand of Bulova that was created in 1962. And essentially it was created for a lower price point to compete with Timex. Now, many of you guys know Timex was, or I should say is a brand where it's still widely known today. And back then it was known for a watch that took a licking and kept on ticking, right? That was its slogan, that was its motto. So Bulova wanted a piece of that. So Bulova started to create watches that would be able to compete in that price point with Timex. Coming out with chrome plated casing, 7 jewel movements. It was simple, hand wound, basic, got the job done, right? And then in the late 60s to early 70s, that's when Caravelle really started to take its stride, take its movement in the watch world, right? So it came out with 7 to 17 jewel movements, sometimes 21 to 25, but those can only be found internationally. And it also created some model lineups which were devil divers, right? The 666 feet diving group of watches. And so it also created some other watches that was comparable to the Omega Genève back in the day. So it created this funk, it created this type of watch which, you know, you can have Bulova quality but not have to pay for it so much. So hence came Caravelle. It also experimented with transistorized movements. I don't want to say experimented because for a good time it had a bunch of transistorized movements, which we can get into that later in my later videos. But transistorized movements were essentially coil powered balance spring movements, right? It still used a balance spring, but it still used batteries, and we can take a deep dive in that later since I have an extensive collection of those and the types of movements and the history of that. But this is about Caravelle. So Caravelle, like I said, in the late 60s to early 70s and then on, it really made a name for itself, creating some high quality, durable stainless steel watches, right? And so when the quartz crisis, or I should say quartz revolution, came along in the early 80s, there needed to be a shift, right? As Bulova was changing, Caravelle needed to change with it too. So hence those types of mechanical watches kind of fell to the wayside, and then quartz movements became common in them. And then nowadays Caravelle, I would say, doesn't have quite the provenance that it used to have, but nowadays it's a fashion watch, you know, to kind of compete with like Michael Kors and those types of watches nowadays, which there's nothing wrong with, right? You can just easily get one of those quartz watches and have it fit to your style. However, back in the day, you know, Caravelle really had some high quality watches in terms of fit, finish, design, and the movements that were used in the watches. So that's a brief history of Caravelle. You know, like I said, I'm going to go in more in depth about certain models later on in the series of watch takes. But, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. If I'm missing anything, please let me know because it helps me improve my videos. And I really look forward to seeing you on the next video. Anyway, thanks very much for you guys watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.